Hello Papercrafters, welcome to another Design with Jo video. I'm Joanne Rogers, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I've been designing with you in mind since 1999. Today I want to show you a little bit more about the Stamparatus. So last week I shared some of the tips and features and benefits of this great new tool from Stampin' Up! Designed by stampers, for stampers. You can't go wrong with this tool, and I know that you're going to want one in your crafting room too. So today what I want to talk about is making multiple cards quickly and easily. So we're going to make a few of these birthday cards, and I want to show you how fast and easy you can get them done. So we're going to first of all do all of our stamping with the Stamparatus, and I've already put together some of the cardstock backgrounds, but I want to see exactly how quick and easy you can get this stamping done. So I have my Stamparatus, and if you didn't catch the video from last week, click on the link below and it'll take you to the my first video, which talked a lot about the different parts of the Stamparatus, which I'll go over a little bit in a little less detail here today. So we have the base, and there are hinges on both sides, and there are two different plates. So it's great. You get not just one surface like you do with some other positioners. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 surfaces for stamping, so it's wonderful. So these little divots, I'm going to call them, fit right into the hinge on the side, and I'm going to put my top in and my bottom. It comes with 2 magnets. Now the trick to these magnets is that you want to keep them away from each other. They are magnets that are bars. I've taken some duct tape and put it on mine so it makes it a little easier to pick up. So keep them far away. Do not put them down on the table close together, because they will pull together and they will snap and break. So right now it's snapping onto my ruler. So this is very smart, very strong rather, magnets. So I've also cut myself some grid paper, and it just, for a couple of reasons, it gives a little bit more cushion to the foam cushion that it comes with. You can see the grid on the bottom. Foam cushion, because we're going to be using photopolymer stamps today. And then I use the grid paper for placement, as well as to, if I want to stamp off, if I don't want a full impression on my ink, I can stamp onto the paper. So this is just some of our grid paper, which I've cut down to fit inside here. So what we're going to do today, we are going to work actually with a smaller piece of paper. So I've already cut out some of my ovals, and I am going to place these down, and I could place these anywhere. I want to place them not really close to the corner. I could place them in the corner, but I like to have it out a little bit. I am finding that I like it for stamping a little bit more here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a little tick mark here and a little tick mark here, because as I'm doing my multiples, I will take one out and put another one in, and I can just place it in the exact same position. So there, to put my magnets in place, and I'm just holding down the very corners of my magnets. I'm going to put my tape so it's facing the other way. Okay, so I'm going to start placing my stamps down. I'm going to start with my solid one in the middle, and then my polka dot one beside it. I'm going to try and get that a little bit straighter. And then the striped one beside that. And I start with my one in the middle because it gives me a little bit better idea of where to place so that I can get very similar spaces in between. I've got those on there. I'm just going to close my first plate and lift those up. Now, a tip for you is to place a half size. It's about the same height as my Stamparatus, and it just gives you a little bit better area for inking up. So now that I've got it there, I can have a little less chance I'm going to get ink all over it. So you ink it up. The ink that I have here, do not worry about, because it will not transfer to your paper. And then you just stamp. And because it's photopolymer, you just want to make sure that it's nice and solid on the paper. Lift up. Now you may notice that I missed my some dots on that side of my candles. So all I need to do is go back in, ink those up, and go in again. Now some of the reason for that could have been that the magnet was a little bit too close. There we go. That's a much better impression. Okay, so now that I have my candles done, I'm going to do the words. So we're going to use Cue the Confetti. And cue the confetti, I want that to be fairly straight. And you can use your little lines over here just to give you an eyeball, if you like. Now I'm going to use the top plate instead of the side plate for this. So pull that down. And we're going to use Night of Navy to ink that up. Hopefully you can see this in the screen. So I actually have this sitting now on a stamp pad. So it also is raised so that I'm able to ink a little bit easier. So I ink that up, pull down and stamp. And again, give it a little bit of pressure, lift up. Now you see again that I didn't get my ink everywhere. So I'm going to do that again. And there we have our Cue the Confetti. So you just pull out your next one, put it into place. So I'm matching it up where my little pencil lines are. I'm going to put my magnets over top. I'm going to ink up. Ink up my words. I'm going to ink that Q again. I'm not quite getting my blue, my navy, and they're quite there strong enough. Now one thing you do want to be careful of is this ink does stay wet, so just place it to the side so that you'll not smudge it up. And here's our third one. Put it down. Ink up. And I find just rubbing it seems to help a little bit better. Get lots of navy on there. There we go. Now here's another example of where my magnet is a little too close, so I'm going to pull that aside and I'm going to stamp again. There we go. So I've done 3 stamped images very, very quickly. I'm going to close up my ink pads. I'm going to clean, so I'm just using a wet one to clean up my ink. Now one thing you want to make sure you don't do is store your Stamparatus with the plates in there, so I'm just going to pull those off for now. And I'm also going to take one of my magnets and put it in the back. I find that if I only have one out there, there's less chance that I'm going to have to break it. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to finish up the card. So we just need some flames on our candles. So they are fairly easy to do, and they also don't need to be right in the same position. Okay, now that I have my candles, I'm just going to put my stamped image on top of my scalloped ovals. Now, 3 cards might not seem like a lot to make, but when you're doing your Christmas cards or if you're doing birthday invitations, this could be an invitation as opposed to a card. Then when you're sending it out for your kids or for your significant other, it will actually reduce the amount of time. So I've already put my designer paper on there, and that's paper from the Tutti Frutti set. So there you go. Quick and easy stamping, multiples, the fast way. You can save time in your craft room, and when it comes time to making multiples, I think the Stamparatus really will be your best friend. So I hope you like this project and like this video. Please consider liking it and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you live in Canada and don't yet have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your gal. Also, check out my blog at www.designwithjo.ca. I post regularly and I would love to have you join in. Thanks very much. Have a great day.